How do you feel about the state of the West Virginia Mountaineers right now?
Believe. Believe.
Like Ted Lasso, you got to smack the board up there. Whenever you think about the Big 12 as a whole, this is a year where, with the 12-team college football playoff, the West Virginia Mountaineers can make it in there. And to both of you, which I've already done 1,000 times, we win the Big 12 we're in, we got a home field playoff game. But even if you slip up this year, you have a chance to make it into the college football playoff. A win over Penn State week 1 is a massive ordeal for like indicator votes down the line. How do you feel like the Big 12 is going to shape up, and what are your thoughts about how this West Virginia team is going to do in the conference?
We got a great shot. I mean, we've made some good key player adjustments here in the offseason. I know those guys, Mike Joseph and the gang, has got those strength and conditioning stuff, on par 100%. And as far as what we got, we got threats. We got running backs, we got quarterbacks, we got wide receivers, and we got Cole Taylor.
Love that. Tight end, obviously an absolute beast. Pat White, when you see Garrett Green run wild on the field, does it make you have those visions of those Thursday nights whenever you were running all over stupid-ass Louisville or Maryland or any of these other schools that you used to run up and down the field? What are your thoughts on Garrett Green, the quarterback?
I think with that number 6, he might one-up me.
Whoa.
No. He's that guy. But when I look at West Virginia now and the new Big 12, it's sort of reminiscent of the old Big East, right? When we came in, all the quote-unquote top dogs had left, and we weren't supposed to be the top dog, but we became the top dog. Now we are the top dog. And we should run with this thing.
I like what you said there, because the Big East had transformation there. Miami had left, Virginia Tech had left, I believe Maryland had left. There was a team, they all went down to the ACC. We remained in the Big East. And it was very similar to what happened with the Big 12 with Texas and Oklahoma leaving, and people thought the Big East was going to die. That Pitt team had a good run whenever we were there. That Louisville team had a good run when we were there. That Rutgers team had a good run whenever we were there. That Connecticut team had a good run whenever we were there. But there was no team that ran like the West Virginia Mountaineers.
Hell yeah.
I think we should bring back the whole couch burning thing.
Yep.
You better be burning them couches Saturday, baby.
Whoa.
Light them up.
No, we don't need that.
What do you mean bring it back? What happened?
So they banned it.
Why?
What? Who?
Well, to be clear, I think it's always been banned, which, I don't think you're allowed to just burn shit in the middle of the street.
In Morgantown, you are.
But
yeah, see a lot of burning right over there, too. A lot of smoking over there.
Hey, yeah, we got some kids smoking CBD behind us here. We had a guy get arrested earlier in an Owen Schmidt jersey.
Hell yeah, right.
There's been, obviously, the good times. But, Owen, thinking back to those celebrations, okay? And we talk about the couch burning. We talk about Sunnyside, what it used to be. We talk about High Street. We talk about Frat Row. If West Virginia beats Penn State tomorrow as 8.5-point dogs at noon, that game ends at 3:30. That's a lot of time on a Saturday night.
Woo.
What do you... Have you thought about that at all? Because I have. I thought this was a night game in Morgantown for a while. Then I found out it's a noon game, and I was like, hold the phone. All of a sudden, you got another 12 hours after this game ends for West Virginia to celebrate. I think they're going to do as such. Oh, and I believe they're going to do as such.
Here's what I'm going to say. When we win.
Yep.
All right, when we win. All right, the couches will burn.
Has a phenomenal goatee.
Yeah.
Whoa.
A phenomenal leader.
Right.
Head coach of the Mountaineers, Neil Brown.
Coach. Come on, Coach.
Coach, big dog. Oh, yep.
Yes, sir.
God, let me get this out of your way. Your quarterback staying hydrated. He drank 2 bottles while he was up here. Obviously, it's incredibly hot.
Trust the climb. 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 Trust the climb.
All right, Neil. What they're chanting there is trust the climb. That has been your mantra since you got here, is trust the climb, trust the climb.
Yes, sir.
There was times where a lot of people...
They didn't trust, did they?
They were not trusting. They were not trusting the climb.
Yeah.
But going into this season, how last season ended with starting quarterback returning, seemingly some veteran leadership. It feels like all of West Virginia is behind you. Do you feel that? And what are the vibes going into this weekend?
Well, this is such a unique place, which I know that everybody on this stage really understands that. And you've lived it. Pat's lived it at some of its highest moments. All right, the Runaway Beer Truck has definitely felt it from the people here in the state. And, man, it's when you've got momentum and we have momentum right now, and you have 1.8 million behind you, man, it's special. And it's our job to keep it going tomorrow.
Okay, so the vision of the team that you had whenever you got here to what it is now, similar? Are these the types of guys that you've wanted to be West Virginia Mountaineers under your leadership? And how do you view like recruiting and team and portal and the guys that you have taking the field tomorrow?
Well, fair question. So what I would say is you have to go back to January of 19 and think about how much different college football was in January of 19. I didn't have the vision that we were going to have COVID. I didn't have the vision that NIL was going to take the role it's taken. And so I think probably no different when you started this show. When you quit playing and decided to start this show, like I would say you're better at it now than you were when you started. You know?
Maybe.
But and you learned the business, right? And it's no different for me. Like I've been very fortunate. I think each year you learn. And like we hit a giant reset. We did not play. We did not meet expectations in 22. Didn't play very well. I thought we underachieved. And we hit the reset in January of 23 of the vision of how we want to play. And you study history. You hope to repeat it and maybe even exceed it. And I like the team. You know, we built it around we want to be disciplined, we want to strain, we want to be smart, and we want to be tough. And we've got a football team that has that identity. Now we got to go show it against one of the top teams in the country.
And you're stopping by College Game Day tomorrow during warm-ups, which I very much appreciate. You've been gracious with your time here. The people are thankful for it. What is the one thing you're looking for from your team tomorrow? Like, obviously, nobody really knows what their team looks like until you actually start playing. Practice is what it is. But what's the one thing you'll be looking for early and be like, okay, this was a question, but now we got to figure it out?
Well, the message has been pretty consistent is, hey, you want to peak when things around you are peaking. And like things around here are peaking is like the atmosphere. The atmosphere around here is unbelievable. We had a radio chat last night that was standing room only. It's sold out. It's been sold out for a really long time. And so the message for our team is man, we need to peak at that time as well. And James Franklin, Penn State's going to roll in. They've got a great team. And they handed it to us last year at their field. Yep. And now we've got to be able to rise to the challenge. We've got to be able to rise to the challenge and show the progress that we've made over the last 19 months. And that's the goal.
They're saying truck Penn State. They're trucking in. They are trucking in from Penn State. Obviously, Happy Valley.
Right.
They hopped in their trucks. Truck Penn State. They came down here, and obviously they're going into a buzzsaw tomorrow, Coach, which I know you absolutely love. Connor has a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Coach, so what do the next 20 hours look like? Obviously, you mentioned the preparation's kind of been done. Is it more so kind of taking care of the body? Pat mentioned GG drinking 2 bottles of water. He's probably drinking another gallon going in. And then what does tomorrow morning look like? How does that kind of go as you gear up for noon?
Yeah, first of all, I appreciate you wearing my man Dan Stratford's jersey right here. Supporting which West Virginia went to the College Cup last year in men's soccer. So right on point. Right on point. So we had practice this morning. They've got a little bit of downtime now where we'll use some of the recovery stuff that we have, and then we'll come back at 5 o'clock. We got meetings. We'll do dinner, and then head to the hotel, do lights out about 9:30, and then we're getting up and going pregame in the morning. We kick off at a little after 12, so pregame's at 8. We'll do a walkthrough right after that and do the man trip. And the closest thing that we'll have to the man trip, it won't be exactly like this, but, man, the man trip's going to be packed, and then we get
Explain
off.
the man trip.
Yeah, so the man trip. Man trip's our walk into the stadium, and it's really a hat tip to all the coal miners. And it's a hat tip to the coal miners. And so when you go down into a mine, you ride in a little trolley cart, and they call it the man trip, and wherever you're going to work for that day, and that's us as West Virginia football acknowledging the past in the state.
So you guys walk into the stadium, place is going apeshit. Are you listening to music? What do you do? Are you taking it in?
Yeah, here's what I like. first of all, that's not normal. Like, this isn't normal behavior. You'll probably become accustomed to it, but like, this isn't normal to have this many people in one setting. It's not normal to come to the man trip. It's not. Yeah. So.
Packed, Coach.
Yeah.
Come on.
What a cool setting.
No couch is safe tomorrow.
Hey, what's up? Hey, so look, this right here is not normal. So we go through this man trip. Man, I'm looking through the eyes of my 9-year-old son walking through there, and I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. You know, and so, hey, can I give a gift? Can I give a gift real quick?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. So I watched the show last Friday.
No.
All right. I watched the show last Friday. All right. I watched the show last Friday.
We did.
So what do you give the people that have everything, right? Like, you'll have everything. You're living the life, man. And so I'm going to get to these in a second.
That's good hat.
So living this, all right. I knew it was hot out here, so brought Country Road Trust beer. Here we go.
Come on! Waiting for a pint all day.
So
A proper pint.
we'll pass those around. We're not going to leave Pat out. He's got to be together.
Thank you,
All right?
Coach.
Yeah, so we got some. These are cold now. Like,
Yeah,
they're
they're
cold beer. We're not serving hot beer around here.
Ice cold, brother.
All right,
Cold
and then
beers, brother.
we got
Oh boy.
Whiskey wine.
Oh boy.
we got Country Roads Trust. All right, 1863.
Pickleback.
So
That was a good year.
hey, that's right. So hey, you all do that on your own, but like, now these are the black coal hats. Everybody's got one on stage, okay? Everybody's got one.
Sweet.
But I got to.
College coming.
Wait, Pat, I thought you were done.
Yeah. I said that last Friday was going to be the last time I drank beer for the rest of my life. But whenever goateed Neil Brown delivers some Country Roads Trust beer in front of thousands of Mountaineers, you have to chug one down. Cheers, beers, Mountaineers. Let's remember this for the rest of time. Cheers to you, Neil. I appreciate you, buddy.
Cheers, Coach. Thank you, Coach.
What do you want?
Gone.
All right, that's it.
That's it.
Now, don't you start this shit with me.
One more
He's
beer.
already talking about it.
Hey, come on, dog. You know you're going out there.
Right on the wires.
Whoops. It's good for him to cool him down.
Hey, Tone has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, I know now that we're in the season, every week is week to week, but 20 Big 12 titles just left the Big 12. So before the season, did you talk to that about the team? Because everyone's saying the Big 12 is wide open.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. These people don't believe that. There's only one team that's going to win the Big 12. But did you guys address that at all when Texas, Oklahoma left, just about the landscape of the conference that you're in?
Yeah, so we really didn't talk a whole lot about Oklahoma and Texas leaving. What we did is we talked about the quality of the league. And
Yeah.
you look at it 1 through 16, and we brought some quality teams in the last 2 years. You know, Cincinnati came in; they've been in the playoff.
Yep.
You know, Utah has won multiple Pac-12 titles. So you're bringing in really quality teams. And here's the thing: so we've got to win playoff games. The Big 12, we got to win some playoff games. But if you look from top to bottom, the Big 12 is the most competitive league. But what we've got to do is we've got to go win those playoff games to move ourselves up the ladder as far as Power 4 conferences.
Yeah, and obviously you got to put the work in every single day, every single meeting, yada, yada, yada. But in college football, you need the world to see your program and experience your program. 50 recruits this weekend, Kevin? Is that accurate?
Yeah, we had to turn them away. So it's the 50 of the who's who recruits, and they're going to see one of the best atmospheres in all of college football. It's going to be electric tomorrow.
I think it's the right weekend.
Yeah, it's the right weekend.
I think it's the right weekend to have him in here. Owen Schmidt has a question for you, Coach.
Coach, talking to Jed Drennan, a little bit about your preparation for this season. What is your philosophy on physicality? Like, how do you coach that?
Yeah, so I think it has to be a tenet of our program here. And we were purposeful about that in fall camp. And Jed will tell you. And so we took this approach, Owen, we had 2 scrimmages, 2 full contact. We went over 120 plays in both scrimmages. And the reason we did that, because we've got to be prepared in week 1. So what we took is kind of an NFL mentality. We treated them as 2 preseason games, and really trying to tell our team, hey, this is game 3. It says game 1 on the schedule. We've already played 2 full games. Now this is game 3. We should know who we are and what we're about. We tackled as much as they'd let us tackle. And so that was we got a little sound going on here, huh?
No, you're good.
All right. So, but no, I thought that we were really physical, and I think we have to be. That's how we're going to have to win in this league.
I dropped my.
Yeah, he dropped his beer.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, he dropped his
I
beer
think
up.
Yep,
that has been kind of some of the aura that's really helped our teams in West Virginia over the past be that upper dog there is you got to bring that physical aspect. And I know today's game, in the modern game, we're trying to retain, injury reduction and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to really get a grasp of how a modern coach in today's world gets that physicality aspect into the game.
Yeah, so what you have to do, there's a bunch of science, all right, but you got to trust your eye as well. So there's science. Like, we never practice more than 3 days in a row, which for old school football, that's crazy, right? But you're trying to peak. You're trying to peak when we kick it off tomorrow at 12:05. You got to peak at that time. But you can't. This is a physical game. You can't take the contact out of this game. It's a collisions game. It's not a contact game. And we trained our guys during fall camp. And we were very fortunate. We came out relatively healthy. We came out to this point with most of the guys we expected to play are going to play tomorrow.
Awesome, and I'm looking forward to it.
Pat White has a question for you, Coach.
Yes, sir, Pat.
Earlier, Coach, you mentioned that 1.8 and how special it is. I know you spent some time down in my home state at Troy, where you're not the top dog.
Yeah.
Here, you are the big dog. So how does that feel to you, and how do you convey that message to the recruits and the current players that are here?
Yeah, well, first of all, Daphne, Alabama, met your brother over there. Yeah, and so that's a special place, and was great for my kids are here, or my daughters are here today. My wife's here, and Alabama was great to us. Spent 9 years there, and very fortunate to be there. And first offense coordinator job, first head coaching job at Troy, so very partial to Troy University in Alabama. But West Virginia is unique, and I'm from Kentucky. I'm from Central Kentucky, so I feel like I understand the Appalachia background that both states have, kind of kindred spirits, West Virginia and Kentucky. So I think that works in the favor to understand. And I said this on another program, is there's 3 like programs in the country to me that are only one Power 4 football team in their state and no professional sports at the highest level. And that's Nebraska, that's Arkansas, and that's West Virginia. And in West Virginia, the thing that's unique to me is you have an opportunity to affect an entire state. You can affect you can give hopes and dreams to an entire state by how you perform on the football field. You did it. You know what I mean? Owen did it. Pat did it. You lifted the hopes and the dreams of the entire state by how you played the game. Not just that you won, but how you played the game and how you embraced the people. And I think that's why Garrett's become such a fan favorite, because he's embraced it. He understands the culture. He understands the importance. He understands that we represent a blue-collar people that are passionate about the Flying WV, and they want to see guys that spill it on the field. And very appreciative of you 3 guys. I appreciate you being here and bringing this here. And I speak for our program that this has been a big lift for us.
Well, we're incredibly lucky to be here. Thank you for welcoming us back. I think that is a big part of the conversation. Alongside Ren Baker, athletic director, who'll be joining us later, we feel back at home. It feels like Morgantown in 2007, 2008 right now. The vibes are through the roof. Can't wait to see what you do with the team this year. Ladies and gentlemen, head coach of the West Virginia Mountaineers, Neil Brown. Thank you, man. And as we wrap up this first hour that's had a little bit of adversity, thank you for the hats, Coach. That's awesome. We, maybe dropped off the air, maybe didn't have any sound. We wouldn't want it any other way here in Morgantown, West Virginia.
Hell yeah.